ಕೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ವಿದ್ಯುತಾಂತರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. Hello everyone, welcome to the show The Focus Line. Today we are going to discuss some important articles which are important from perspective of international relation, that is GS2, and few articles which are related to geography and also the disaster management. So totally we are going to discuss the 4 articles. First is SCO summit that currently happening in China. So second is about the cloudburst in India. Third is a reservation conundrum, that is 2 states are in particularly in Maharashtra and one in Telangana. So in two states there is protest going on. So we'll see what is exactly happening there. And third is the sea level rising. That is the one article came in the Hindu where it explained based on the data collected from last 50 years. So rather wasting time, we will start with discussion. So this particular article, that is India China committed to fair resolution of border issues, that came in the Hindu, this one, and same article came in Indian Express where it says the partners not rivals, that is about the India and China, the current discussion that they have concluded. So this particular article topic comes under the GS2, international relation, and international relation where it comes under the bilateral relations. Okay, so from that perspective it becomes important, and we are going to discuss in more detailed manner. So already we have discussed in Saturday session also I have discussed how the geopolitics is changing, how the realignment is happening. So these all I have discussed, and when it comes to India and China relation, I have taken I devoted one entire session on focus line where I explained the historical developments between India and China, what are the present interests where our interests are converging, and where the present context where our interests are diverging. So these all I explained, you can watch that video. So concerning these 2 articles, what is happening here, there is the talks about the fair resolution of border issue. So it is about the fair resolution. So when it comes to fair resolution, there are the 2 ways they are talking about. First is referred in this article itself, reasonable and mutually acceptable solution. So fair resolution in the sense they want reasonable and mutually acceptable solution. Second is that the issue between India and China, that is about all the border issues. These border issues should not take over the other relations. It means whatever our other relations are there, trade relations are there, other the cultural relations, that they are not influenced by these border issues. So to keep the border issues in isolation, we should conduct the other relation. So this is all about the fair resolution where the 2 aspects have come out, and also India is mentioned about the fair trade, that is what I talked, the other relation, fair trade, and second is strategic autonomy. Now this all things are going considering the strategic autonomy of India. So we are maintaining our strategic autonomy by this discussion. So what is strategic autonomy? When it comes to strategic autonomy, it is conducting relations, the international relation, at the best interest of our own country. So whatever our relations are there, whatever our interests are there, these interests should not be influenced by the third party. So and taking this interest in fair and reasonable manner to international forum, that is all about the strategic autonomy. Now how India is maintaining strategic autonomy, if you see, before going to this SCO meeting, that Shanghai Cooperation Council meeting, Prime Minister visited Japan, and Japan is one of the closest ally of USA. So the Prime Minister visited Japan. Second, in SCO meeting, that is Shanghai Cooperation Council meeting or summit, we are engaging or reapproaching to the China and with Russia. So what we are doing, we are balancing between West and anti-West fronts. So in traditionally in through the SCO, China and Russia, these two are major anti-West allies, and we are engaging with both aspects. And what we are doing, we are securing our strategic autonomy. We are engaging with Japan to ensure or take our interest to the forum, and also we are engaging with SCO to carry out our own interest, that is security related issues, trade related, and also tourism, terrorism related issues. So all these we are conducting in independent manner. So this is all about the strategic autonomy. Two articles, both they are talking about the strategic autonomy. We are already discussed this issue in detailed manner. You can watch this video to understand in better way. Second is about, we'll discuss now the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Council is in news. So we'll discuss what are the aspects about this SCO. So when it comes to SCO, the Shanghai Cooperation Council, it started in 1996 as a Shanghai 5. So this started during the 1996 when the USSR disintegrated in 1992, and the focus of this Shanghai 5 was the tackling religious extremism, and the ethnic tension. So by taking these two issues, they focused on tackling these two issues. So the Shanghai 5, and the countries which involved in Shanghai 5, they were the China, Russia, then Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, so along with the China, Russia, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Tajikistan, these 5 countries were involved in this particular forum, and this forum particularly got the current status, that is Shanghai Cooperation Council, Cooperation Organization, that in 2001, where it is formally established as Shanghai Cooperation Organization, where again this time the Uzbekistan joined this particular forum. So that time it dropped this name Shanghai 5 and it took the name of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So particular development happened, same aspect they have taken, religious extremism, ethnic tension, the terrorism, and all the border issues they involve. So one fact you need to remember, all the Central Asian countries are part of this Shanghai Cooperation Organization except the Tajikistan, because the Tajikistan and Russia has the long diplomatic differences. So whenever the Russia joins any organization, the Turkmenistan don't join. So this is the one fact you can remember. And when it comes to the India in 2015, there was one summit in Ufa, Russia. So here the India and Pakistan, they formally applied for the joining. The application or the consideration of Chinese, India and Pakistan membership, they accepted in UPA in Russia summit. So in 2017 in Astana, these both countries formally joined. So why I'm talking this all the prelims aspect part, because the UPSC, the 2024 and 25 ka paper, UPSC now generated this fantasy to ask these kind of questions. When the India joined, which summit they have joined. So for that perspective, this becomes very important. So you need to remember this. In Astana summit, India formally joined, but the application or the formal procedure started in this Russia, the UPA. Here the formal procedure started. So this is all about the SCO you need to know. And certain other part, when you see the structure of this Shanghai Shanghai Cooperation Organization. There are the few important structure that you need to know. Two are very confusing, that's why I'm telling it. So there is one Council of Head of States. So this is one council and this is the highest decision making body. So, and this particular body responsible for taking the agendas and carrying out it, what are the focus area would be for the next 1 year, that will be decided by this Council of Head of State. And currently what India is currently the summit happening, this is the summit of the Council of Head of the State. Second is there Council of Head of Governments. So this is quite confusing again, head of state and head of government. This particular aspect, okay, so this particular structure is responsible for the coordination of agendas or the cooperation. So major focus of the coordination and cooperation, and this is the second highest authority or the structure in this particular body. So these two are very confusing, need to remember. UPSC might ask question there because previously they asked about the structure of G20. So by taking clue from there, we need to know this structure of this particular SCO and also the other structure, but these two are very crucial. One more is the RATS, that is about the terrorism. It is located in the Tashkent, and also let me know in comment section where the headquarter of this particular SCO is located. So this is all you need to know about this particular summit and organization. Second is, I was talking about the OBC reservation conundrum. So this particular aspect is related to GS2 Polity. So we'll briefly discuss what is the exactly issue is going on. So when it comes to the OBC reservation, you all know that it is given by the Mandal Commission and it presented a report in 1980, and that is accepted in 1990 during the Janata Party government. So that time they accepted, and the subsequently challenged in 1992, and the case popularly known as Indra Sawhney or the Mandal case. Why this is important? Because whatever the issues going on, like take this Maharashtra ka reservation protest or Telangana ka, where the Telangana government wants to implement 42% quota for the backward classes. With this both in this one, in Maharashtra, when it comes to Maharashtra, they are demanding inclusion of Maratha into OBC list. So when the Maratha will be included, already Maharashtra has the 50% reservation. When the Maratha will be included, then it will likely to breach this particular. They need to increase the quota for the OBC and likely to breach the 50% ceiling that given by this particular case. So Indra Sawhney case, Supreme Court implemented 50% ceiling on reservation, and also when the Telangana government will implement 42% quota for backward classes, it will also violate the 50% ceiling. And why the Supreme Court imposed the 50% ceiling? Because of the Article 14, which talks about the equality of equal status or right to equality. Because there 50% ceiling, because there will be equality between reserved seats and non-reserved seats, the people who are belongs to reserve category and non-reserved category. That's why considering that aspect, Supreme Court imposed that 50% ceiling. So when, and this particular become the you can say gali ki haddi when it comes to the implementing the other reservation. And particularly the latest development happened in 2020 in Maratha reservation case. Previously Supreme Court has rejected reservation for the Marathas, and this based on What criteria? It is about the socially backwardness. The particular reservation that given in 2017 that breached the 50% ceiling. In addition to that, it was violating this particular aspect, that one criteria that considered when the government wants to give the OBC status to particular community. So they should be socially and educationally backward, they should be economically backward, and there should be the particular caste should have inadequate representation in government post and services. So they are in these three criteria, the socially backwardness, this becomes very important, because the socially backward classes castes considered which have traditionally or historically faced discrimination. So the caste who face the historical discrimination, they are considered socially backwardness. And when it comes to the Maratha case, Maratha reservation, Maratha are considered as belongs to Kshatriya category. So the socially discrimination that happened with other castes, that was not very significant when it comes to the Maratha. Socially backwardness in the sense, historical discrimination in the sense, the other caste should practice untouchability with that caste. They should reject the dining with them. They could have rejected taking food from them, and these all things not happened with Maratha. So that's why the problem is that socially backwardness, there is a problem to prove the Maratha socially backwardness, and there is a problem to include the Marathas in this particular OBC case. And second is the 50% ceiling when it comes to the Telangana government case, and also you know the EWS case, where in government has given in 103rd constitutional amendment, government has given 10% reservation to EWS, and that Supreme Court considered as valid, because in Janhit Abhiyan case, this particular case belongs to this EWS category, where they challenged the 10% reservation, citing the 50% ceiling. This particular case, Supreme Court said this 50% ceiling is for SC, ST and OBC. So the previously reserved category. So the reservation of these SC, ST and OBC should not be more than 50%. In addition, above, if you want to give above 50%, the caste should not be included in this category. So this is all about, you need to know about the OBC conundrum that is happening currently now. Let me know in comment section which are the article belongs to the OBC category, which article deals with the OBC reservation in that included in our constitution. So this is all about the OBC reservation. Next is the mini cloudburst are on the rise, that IMD chip. It according to IMD chip. But one more interesting fact is there. This particular article says that there is no increasing trend when it comes to the cloudburst, but there is increasing trend of this mini cloudbursts. So in this backdrop, we need to know what is exactly the cloudburst and mini cloudburst, because UPSC, they are asking this kind of questions. They are asking what you mean by they might ask what you meant by the mini cloudburst. So that time you need to know the scientific definition of this. So when it comes to this mini cloudburst, there is an organization called Indian Institute for Tropical Meteorology. This particular institute says the cloudburst or the rainfall which is around 50 millimeter, and this rainfall lasts for the 2 consecutive hours. So if there is rainfall which is 50 millimeter and that lasts for 2 consecutive hours, then it termed as mini cloudburst, and this is definition given by the Indian Institute for Tropical Meteorology. And second, when it comes to the cloudburst, according to IMD, that is Indian Meteorological Department, it says that the cloudburst which it caused the heavy rainfall, and which the heavy rainfall which is the more than 100 mm per hour. So this is the difference between the mini cloudburst and the cloudburst. Mini cloudburst, it is about the 50 mm and this for the 2 hours, and when it comes to cloudburst, it is about the 100 mm and it lasts for the 1 hour. So this is the difference, and scientific definition need to know to for the mains perspective. Mostly they are asking in mains only, and the cloudbursters are increasing. In another session we will in detail discuss the what are the reasons that are causing the cloudburst and what are the implications happening on the social economical aspects, and also what are the solution that is given by the NDMA. So this particular articles deals with, when it comes to our syllabus, GS1. In GS1 it is related to geography, and also it is related to GS3 where it related to disaster management. So this from the GS1 and GS3 perspective, this is very important. In one more session we'll discuss in deeper detail. So next article is about the, and this is the last article in our discussion. This about the data shows that sea rising faster around the Maldives and Lakshadweep than believed. So this is the data collected by the Ministry of Earth Science. In they have collected data from the last 50 years. So to by collecting this data, they have concluded that the sea level is rising. When it compared to the global stage, the sea level rising, the rate of sea level rising is 3 mm per year. So this is the very like concerning aspect, where the sea level, when it comes to global rate, it is about 3 mm, and this is the higher in Indian Ocean. And this is very concerning because particularly when it comes to the Maldives and Lakshadweep, these two are the flat terrain. And due to flat terrain, they are the prone for the flooding, and they are on the brink of the submergence. Okay, so that's why this one more aspect, one as an example you can use in the mains only. Due to flat terrain, these are prone to flooding, and this can be submerged in upcoming years. So this is the one important. And now when it comes to the sea level rising, why the sea level rising is concerning, we'll see the what is the impact of sea level rising. When it comes to first is the coastal erosion, coastline erosion, and when coastline erosion is directly linked to the loss of productive agriculture land. So that's why it is very concerning. We are already facing the food security issues, and the most of the that food comes that is from the coastline, and if the coastline we are losing the fertile land, then it is very concerning from the food security issue. Second is the seawater intrusion. So seawater intrusion also is linked to the land productivity through the increasing salinity of land. Again, it is concerning for the food security perspective. This is the one more issue. Third is the loss of corals. When there is the coral is coral, where the coral ponds, it is associated with the highest productive grounds, highest productive regions in the sea. So these corals are very crucial for the fish production and also for the tourism perspective. So the sea level rise directly will affect the coral, this coral production or the coral availability, and this directly will concern to fish production and the tourism, and these are very crucial when it comes to the coastal economy. So these are the all aspects you need to know about this from this particular article, which has taken the data from last 50 years, and it is concluded the sea level is rising, and these are particularly higher sea level rising in the Indian Ocean, and these two islands, that is Maldives and Lakshadweep, they are prone to this flooding, and because of these particular issues. Okay, so this is the 4 article I wanted to discuss today. Tomorrow we'll meet on same time 12 sharp 12 noon, where we'll be discussing what are the important article that comes from the prelims as well as the mains perspective from the Indian Express as well as from the Hindu. Thank you very much.